guys, today we're going to be reading Solarian Journey, Adventures in a Prehistoric World. Welcome to the Solarian, 444 to 419 million years ago. Silurian. We have sponges, brachiopods, arthropods, corals, fishes, plants, and mollusks. This is what it looked like in the ocean during the Solarian period, 444 million years ago. Earth was very different when the Solarian period began 444 million years ago. The world was slowly recovering from a mass extinction that killed almost 85% of life. Strange animals filled the sea, and the earth warmed up. This book tells the story of the earth during the Solarian period. Life in the ocean thrived. Fish developed jaws, giant sea scorpions ruled the shallow water, and plants and tiny invertebrate animals began to colonize the land too. The geologic time scale. How do we know which rocks are from the Solarian? Just like a chapter in a book, every geological time period has its own name, but rocks don't have their ages written on them. To figure it out, geologists study how the rocks look, how they are different from other rocks around them, and which fossils they contain. Paleozoic, Permian, Carboniferous, Devonian, Silurian, Ordovician, and Cambrian. Earth in the Solarian. The Solarian period is named after an ancient Welsh tribe, the Solars. Thanks to the geologic timescale, every geologist in the world knows the Solarian rocks are between 444 and 419 million years ago. Old rocks, bitter ritual. I'm sorry, let me say that again. Old rocks, better rivals. In the mid-1800s, geologists Robert Murchison and Adam Sedgwick agreed about whether certain rocks were from the Silurian or the older Cambrian period. They fought angrily about it over 20 years. In 1879, another geologist named Charles Lapworth added the Ordovician, a new time period between the Cambrian and the Silurian. The world's geologists continued to debate about this solution for another 80 years. And this is the Earth today, and this is the Earth during the Solarian. A lot of differences. And you can see these stars show where those locations are present today. So you can take another look before you move on. Did you know Earth looked very different 444 million years ago? Over time, the continents have shifted very slowly into the places they are today, merging together and breaking up. Euripterid scorpions of the sea. Pteris. We have a Myxopteris. We have a Pegygotus. Sea scorpions. Eurypterids are extinct today, but during the Solarian period, they were found throughout the oceans. The name Eurypterid means wide wing and refers to the paddle-shaped swimming legs that many sea scorpions had. Eurypterids were very diverse, with about 250 species. Did you know sea scorpions aren't really scorpions? They are more closely related to today's horseshoe crabs. These giants caught their prey with powerful claws. Sea scorpions are the largest arthropods ever to have lived. The largest, Jacapteris, grew to be over 8 feet long. Eurypterids had compound eyes made up of many tiny lenses. Flies have eyes like this as well. 2 light-sensing eyes called ocelli sit in the middle of every Eurypterid's head. Eurypterids had to shed their hard external skeleton to grow, a process called molting. The front end of the Eurypterid's head broke open and the animal crawled out of its old skin. Eurypterids came in all sizes and shapes, and they had many different ways of feeding. Some of the larger Eurypterids were voracious predators, but others grazed on algae and rotting matter. Some even fed by filtering tiny plankton out of the water. Trophic tussle, grazer, cannibal. Some big Eurypterids ate other smaller ones. Sweep feeder, hunter, tail for stabbing, basket for holding prey. Did you know? Scientists aren't sure whether Myxopteris was an aggressive predator or a sweep feeder that used its basket-like arms to gather tiny prey out of the water. What's a chelicerates? Eurypterids are chelicerates, a type of arthropod that has a set of feeding mouthparts called chelicerae. Living chelicerates include scorpions, spiders, and horseshoe crabs. This evolutionary tree shows the relationship between chelicerates, horseshoe crab, Eurypterid, tick, scorpion, and spider. Some Eurypterids had sharp, serrated tail spines. They may have been used to slice through prey. Tail knife, slice. Chelicerae, eek. Most Eurypterids had small chelicerae, but some had huge claws. Mouth parts, yum. Modern coral reefs are some of Earth's most important ecosystems. They provide strong, sturdy habitats for many different species. During the Solarian period, large and complex coral reefs expanded around the world. Ancient reef builders. Stromatoporids. Stromatoporids were a group of sponges with hard external skeletons. They often lived close to corals and helped build coral reefs. Oh no, not Rick. Boo-hoo. Get off of me. Stromatoporids grew in lumpy mounds with layers like a stack of pancakes. rocks. Sometimes they even grow on top of other animals. Solarian corals. The corals that built Solarian reefs were different from today's corals. They belong to two extinct groups, tabulate corals and rugose corals. Honeycomb corals look a little bit like the honeycombs made by bees. Rugose corals could be colonial or solitary. Solitary individuals in a horn shape grew in a horn shape, giving them the name horn corals. Did you know small photosynthetic algae called zooxanthellae live in the tissues of modern corals, helping them grow? Extinct corals might have had a similar relationship with algae. Jaws. Placoderms are the oldest fish with true jaws. These fish had thick plates of bony armor on their heads and necks. Jawless fish swam with their mouths open, scooping and slurping food out of the water. Entelognathus, 419 million years old. Quilinu, 423 million years old. Jawless fish, Geologic, Placoderm, simple jaws, bony fish, jaws now. Did you know jaws evolved over time from gill arches, bars of cartilage that originally supported the gills of jawless fish? The Anchinthodinians, or spiny sharks, had skeletons made up of cartilage. Sharp spines supported the fins of these small shark-like fish. Bony fish. Bony fish, known as osteichthyes, have skeletons made out of bone. With over 29,000 living species, the bony fish are the largest group of vertebrates alive today. The Ginyu onerost is 1 foot long, with a mix of tails seen in ray-finned and lobe-finned fish. The Megamassax ambulodos, the largest known Solarian vertebrate. It's only known from its huge jawbones, 3 feet long. Ray-finned fish. These fish have flat fins supported by long, thin bones or rays. Most living fishes belong to this group. There are over 27,000 species of ray-finned fish today, making up most of the living fishes. Lobe-finned fish. These fish have thick and muscular, limb-like fins. They are ancestors of tetrapods, animals with 4 legs. Coelacanths and lungfish are the only living lobe-finned fishes. They are often thought of as living fossils. Waukesha biota. The animals of the Waukesha Lake-Stade deposit lived in a shallow ocean near modern Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When they died, they landed in mud that kept their soft body parts from decaying quickly. Elaconodont animals were common at Waukesha, extremely well preserved. Fossils usually prefer the hard parts of ancient creatures, like bones and shells. Animals with soft bodies, like jellyfish or worms, decay too quickly to become fossils. Sometimes special conditions, like a quick burial in mud, allow soft tissue to be preserved as a fossil. These rare fossil locations are called lacustrine deposits. At Waukesha, paleontologists have discovered amazing fossils of soft organisms that almost never fossilize. Many are strange, unknown animals that look a lot like worms, leeches, crustaceans, and eels. Waukesha fossils include lots of arthropods like trilobites, crustaceans, and osteopods. Many worm fossils are found at Waukesha, including some with suckers. These might be the oldest fossil leeches ever found. Did you know deposits like the Waukesha lacustrine show us the diversity of ancient life? Commonly found fossils like bones and shells only show us part of the story. Vascular plants. Simple Y-shaped stalks with spore capsules at the ends, Cooksonia. Cooksonia is the oldest known plant with vascular tissue in its stem. It was about an inch tall. Simple plants had already been living on land since the Ordovician period, but those early plants were tiny and had to live near water to stay alive. In the Solarian, plants adapted to the challenges of living on land by evolving a way to grow larger and avoid drying out. A network of vascular tissue evolved to move nutrients and water through the plant. Did you know vascular plants have two kinds of special tissue, xylem and phloem? Xylem carries water and nutrients from the roots of the plant through its stem and leaves. Phloem carries nutrients from the leaves to the rest of the plant. Brachynathia is the oldest known plant to have had leaves. Its stem was several feet long and covered with tiny leaves arranged in a spiral. Before land was ready to support animal life, fungi and plants had to form the first terrestrial, meaning land-based, ecosystem. Every living thing in an ecosystem plays an important part. Animals, consumers, eat food made up by plants or producers. Decomposers, like fungi and bacteria, break down waste and dead tissue, returning nutrients to the soil. Fungi. I'm a fun guy. Dedicated decomposers. Fungi, including mushrooms, are more closely related to animals than to plants. They are very important in the environment because they break down the remains of plants and animals, turning them into soil. The oldest known fungi fossils are found in the Solarian rocks. This is Tortotubus. Fungi helped to create the world's first soils, paving the way for other life on land. First land animals. As plants spread across the Solarian landscape, animals began crawling on land. Arthropods were the first animals to leave the water. Their hard exoskeletons kept them from drying out. Both predatory and plant-eating arthropods live on land during the Solarian, forming the very first land-based food web. Paperclip for scale. This is the Proscorpius. The earliest scorpions lived in the water, but were probably able to spend some time on land. Their fossils are found in nearshore environments, often with land plants. Did you know plants first appeared on land 470 million years ago during the Ordovician period? It took another 50 million years before animals crawled ashore in the late Solarian. Millipedes belong to a group of animals called myriapods, meaning many feet. Millipedes can have as many as 750 legs. Millipedes, like the Cassogramus, eat decaying plants. Trigonotorbids are tiny predatory arachnids related to modern spiders. They are extinct today. They looked a lot like spiders but couldn't spin silk. And this is the Paleotarpus. How to breathe on land. Spiracles, holes in the body wall, allow air to pass through. Book gills, gills arranged in layers like the pages of a book. Book lungs, book gills became book lungs, contained inside the body and used for breathing air. The story of salt. Salty seawater covered a lot of the northern eastern U.S. during the Solarian period. The climate was very hot and the shallow sea evaporated, leaving behind thick layers of salt. Salt is not only important in cooking, it helps clear the road of snow and ice in the winter. Salt keeps ice from forming by making it harder for water to freeze. Salt dissolves at the surface, so it is mined underground. The Cayuga salt mine is located over 2,000 feet beneath Cayuga Lake, making it North America's deepest salt mine. About 40 million tons of salt is mined in the U.S. every year. Elephant 4 scale. Index fossils. Geologists sometimes use the appearance of index fossils to identify the start and end of geologic periods. End of the Solarian, start of the Solarian. The beginning and end of the Solarian period are marked by index fossils called graptolites. Index fossils are also used to tell whether rocks are found in different places are the same age. Graptolite fossils look like tiny saw blades. Some graptolite colonies floated in the water, others rested on the sea floor. They lived in colonies of single animals in connected cup-like spaces. The animals used their tentacles to catch tiny bits of food in the water. Graptolites were thought to be extinct until the discovery of a living species in 2012. Keep exploring. Welcome to the museum. Through the next few pages, you'll discover actual fossils from the Solarian period and uncover a glimpse into their lives. You'll also meet a few real-life scientists who study the Solarian and hear their stories. Get ready for a new prehistoric adventure. Here we have the Carniosoma newlini in Indiana, USA. Here we have the Coco Mopatiris longicaudalis in Indiana, USA. Eupatorius truegagon thamla brosoma meaning head from Poldoloa, Ukraine. Fun fact, Eurypedids shed their exoskeleton molting in order to grow. During molting, the exoskeleton broke into different parts. Because of this, many Eurypetid fossils are found in small pieces, like the head, prosoma, or tail, tilson. Here we have the Eurypetyrus oxophthalmus prosoma in West Virginia, USA. Here's the prosoma, walking legs, swimming paddle, pterygites, and tilson. Here we have some more Eurypterids. This guy is called the Myxopterus kiari from Riker Lake, Norway. And here we have the Eurypterus Millipedes from New York, USA. Eurypterids are also known as sea scorpions. They fill the Solarian seas. Some grazed on rotting matter, and some were only a few inches long, while others were huge, clawed predators that grew up to 8 feet in length. Eurypterids were not true scorpions and were more closely related to horseshoe crabs. Here we have the echinoderms. You can take a look at these guys. The name echinoderm means spiny skin. There are many living members of this group, including sea stars, crinoids, sea cucumbers, and sea urchins. During the Solarian period, there were several other types that are extinct today, such as blastozoids and cystisoids. All living and extinct echinoderms are found in the ocean, often near the shore and on reefs. This is a sea star fossil. Fun fact, no matter how different they look